Most clinics think that getting more new patients is going to solve their problem. And guys, I promise you it's not. We have 5 clinics, we have over 30,000 visits annually per clinic. I work with around 50 clinics in the UK, and after identifying what the actual problem is, it's definitely not, I need more new patients. You're getting people in, they're saying yes to your treatment and your care. They're even starting the treatment, and yet at some point in that journey, they dissolve, they disappear, never to be seen again. That's the concept of the black hole. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. And it doesn't happen because you're bad and you're not good at what you do. It's not because patients are unhappy. It's because there is a gap, this unseen gap that you need to be able to identify. And I'm going to help you understand what the concept of the black hole is, how to identify it, and more importantly, what to do about it. So please stay until the end and enjoy the video. Guys, let's talk about one of the concepts that I truly believe can 2, 3, 4, 5, 10x your practice. And it's something that people just do not think about until you start to look at your numbers and you think, oh my goodness, what is the point of having so many new patients if none of us stay with us beyond a certain point? This is the topic today. And if you stay until the end, I have this complicated diagram. I hope you are watching this on YouTube. If you're not, I do apologize in advance. I strongly suggest the visuals will really help you. If you are listening to the podcast, I'll try to explain as much as I can. This is not my concept. This is someone else's work. Typically, there is people way beyond what we've achieved and above us, and these are the people I look up to. And the concept is the black hole of care. If you're a chiropractor, if you're a clinic owner, you better be listening to this episode because this will absolutely blow your mind when you start to understand how to make better decisions about your business, how to create better care for your patients, how to create better mentorship for your people, for your team. The black hole is this concept that is the invisible point of your business where clinics silently start to bleed patients without even realizing it. And this was taught by me by an amazing person in chiropractor in the States. They have a whole software around this. Maybe one day we'll have it available in the UK as well. But guys, check this out. If I was to define the term that a black hole in a clinical setting is this statistical drop-off point where it doesn't matter how many new patients you get, by the end of the month or by the end of the year, you just have a similar number of visits. That's not because patients are lazy. That's not because they don't value their health or they're price sensitive. These are the things that they might tell you, but it's because the system stops from pulling them forward. There's no beyond this point, and at some point they lost the value, which we'll talk about in a minute. And I want to give you some solutions and suggestions as to what we're trying to achieve in my practice. Why does the black hole exist in any type of industry, not just chiropractic? Well, there's various different factors, but for us, typically in our office, is when the symptom relief is there, when the pain reduces, it creates a false completion of the plan. Oh, I must be done. You guys have heard this so many times. Patients feel better. They just assume that they're done because, the whole focus was pain, 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 right? Pain, pain, pain. So why wouldn't they stop when they feel better? In my opinion, one of the biggest things you can do yourself and with your team is to go back to the core principle of what is it that you do and the philosophy behind what you do. The second thing is there's no clear treatment roadmap. And this absolutely is one of the things that in my program, I probably spend 6 to 12 months generating the perfect patient journey program, let alone how long it's taken me to implement it and refine it. And we're still refining it. If any of you are watching this and they just one day decide to jump on the call with me and you're a good fit for the program, let's say, we just onboarded 2 clients this morning, and I said to them, please, 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 for the next 6 to 12 weeks, just watch, study, document, and refine that one module from all of the programs that we have, just that one mini program. And I promise you'll double your practice in 12 months. And I know that they will, because my guarantee is if they don't, have your money back, because that's how confident I am in getting results for our clients. Anyways, going back to this. Second part is there's no clear roadmap. So this is what we use in our training and our coaching and our mentorship. We get our clients to generate their perfect patient journey and have a tool that keeps their clients as well as their team accountable to that. And for us, that's the Road to Recovery tool. I probably will make some more videos on that. So guys, please go and watch that. But that would be super, super, super helpful if you have that because it creates consistency and it creates accountability for your team and for your patients. Thirdly, people will say, well, life gets busy. And again, I strongly suggest you question your beliefs about that because that's what your patients tell you. That's what your CAs tell you. But it's all about reducing the friction and streamlining the whole process so patients find it super easy just to stay on care because they understand it. But ultimately, I can give you all the excuses. Ultimately, it's because the value was lost. Ultimately, that's what's happening. At some point, along the journey for whatever reason, and it's your job and your responsibility to find that reason and to be as close as possible to the truth, is patients lost the value. It's not about the money, it's not about the time, it's not about the symptomatic relief. So, if you don't know what your black hole number is, you guys are honestly just running the show blind. It's a little bit like one of my friends and mentors back in the days told me, it's like, imagine you put a blindfold you, and I say to you, I want you to now cross the M25. And if you don't get hit by a car, you think, oh yeah, I'm doing a good job, I'm on the right track. No, you're not being hit by a car. Your business not burning down or surviving 1 month or just operating how it is now does not make it right, and it doesn't make it like it's optimized or it's working effectively. Because chances are, another 2 or 3 months in, it might crash and burn, or you just constantly think it's a new patient problem and it's actually not. Even with us, we have, like, from the initial patient consultation to full recovery and years of well-being and maintenance and preventative type of care, we still have fairly, and with our systems and procedures and processes, we're still not as good as I would like us to be. And that's kind of, my team probably hate me for it, but this is our mission, is to make sure we create the best possible chiropractic and well-being service for clients. Not because they have to, because they choose to. So I have a question for you guys. Let's just stop right now and write this down. But on average, after how many visits do you think your patients disappear? On average. And that will be your black hole number. Now, it's very difficult to actually devise a software for it, or something that has like a timeline for it. But there's lots of different and fairly easy ways to work that out, especially if you're not a huge organization. For us, it gets a bit more challenging because we have now 5 clinics and it's difficult to track all that data. But let's talk about the black hole equation. If you're watching this and you're thinking, this is exactly what my clinic needs, I just don't have the time or the knowledge to understand how to get to the next level on my own, well, I'll make a suggestion. If we book a free strategy call, it's about 45 minutes to 60 minutes. I do them myself. We can then map out what your numbers look like, what your goals and desires are, also what the bottlenecks and the current challenges are in the business, for us to understand what the next step might look like. There's zero pressure to join anything. I genuinely want to understand what the problems and challenges are. My selfish reason for doing this is I want to level up the profession in general, but also to see if we're a good fit to work together. If you like this content, you'll find the call even more valuable. So guys, click on the link below in the description. There might be a QR code for you to scan, which will take you straight to my diary. And I'm really excited to see you on the other side. Now, back to the video. There are 3 things to consider which equate to why people, or what people will classify as a drop-off. But this is, in my opinion, in my practice and what we find, the biggest reasons why people drop off. Number 1 is there is reduced certainty. So I want you to write this down. Drop off equals reduced certainty times reduced communication, sometimes lack of communication, and what we call no future anchoring. There's nothing in the future for them to hold on to say, hey, there's something coming up. There's more beyond this symptomatic relief. We go from talking about pain outcomes to lifestyle outcomes. And you'll have a completely different practice if you have that mindset shift. As a CEO, as the owner of your practice, this is like the pain thing, and this is very easy to fix and to improve on. And there's many, many, many different ways to do that. Chiropractic is just one of those amazing therapies that can do that. But there's so much more to building a practice. And I really wish people changed their mindset about the adjustment is the best thing in the world, it's incredible. I understand it is. But there's so much more beyond their adjustment that has to happen for you to pay the bills, be ethical, do the right thing with the patient, have happy clients, consistently doing that, keeping your team busy and evolving and bringing the best product you possibly can on the marketplace. That's my mission. And especially here in the UK, is how do I raise the bar of the profession if I know that we're leaving so much on the table because we're just not showing up and we're not raising the bar, we're not raising our standard, we're not developing self-mastery as an owner and showing up as a leader. And I think there's a lot of work to do. And no, I don't feel sorry for saying that, but I think a lot of us suck at actually building an amazing practice that delivers an incredible service. Because the two are they're not mutually exclusive. Delivering an amazing product and making money. People say, oh, but you talk about money and it's not about the money. That's just a byproduct of the thing you deliver to the marketplace. People will provide you with, reward you with finances if you alleviate their pain, because that's valuable that's why they've come to see you. So if you keep them well, if you get out of the symptoms and you are able to communicate what is truth about health and some of the natural laws of biomechanics and physiology and chemistry and optimizing their well-being for the long term, they will love you for it. But if you're shy or it's your problem communicating that, then we better fix that. Because this is how I found there's 5 or 6 solutions to fix the black hole problem. This is what we have been working on for a long time, and I would continue working on. But the first solution is to build a galaxy, to build gravity way before the black hole. And what I mean by that is, you know that there's very little you can do as soon as a patient says to you, Stefan, I'm going to stop care, or they stop the plan, or they don't show up for one appointment, you call them, they don't answer, you know where that's going. So there's a couple of rules I follow by that, but by visit 2 or 3, the patient must understand and must know where they're going in terms of their progress, how long will it take, and what working looks like for them. What does it look like when my plan is working? Well, if you're starting to reduce your symptoms, if your migraines get better, if you're starting to increase your energy, if you start to sleep better, if you're taking less pills, we know you're on the right track. Then the working part when they go to preventative care or maintenance is different. But these are conversations you have to have with patients, and you have to be able to build systems to consistently do that. So, like I said to you, if those 2 or 3 things that they cannot explain to their friends or family after they've left your office, you've lost them. It's too late. So, solution number 1. And I might give you a little exercise here, which is script a 30 seconds future pull statement that you can use every visit until week 4. We find that if you get someone to like week 4 or visit number 12, for example, for us, there's a much higher probability that they'll stay. And then there's other things that you can do after, but for the time being, please do that exercise. Solution number 2 is replace care plans with milestones. So care plans quite often feel abstract in the patient's minds. To us, it's like just normal language, but milestones feel achievable. So phase 1, let's just calm your nervous system down. Phase 2, let's stabilize your patterns and maybe strengthen your core muscles. Stage 3 might be, let's build more resilience so you're not here every single month of the same problem, and let's maintain the results that we've achieved. So just giving examples for each one creates a milestone for them, and as soon as they hit them, they go, oh wow, like, you know, I've now I can do lots more exercises for a long period of time without getting the symptoms or the pain. Again, it's very tangible, it's very achievable, and it makes it much more of a sticky point for the patient. Solution number 3. By the way, guys, I'm going 100 miles an hour, but this is one of those videos where you can easily not take action and nothing will change about your practice. Your problems will still be exactly the same, and next year you'll still be complaining about the same challenges. The reason why you're not changing is because it's uncomfortable. Someone like me, we have a team of close to 20 people now, full-time team members. I'm an idiot. I couldn't speak English like 15, 20 years ago, and now we lead this massive team, and yeah, the revenue is great, and I have financial independency, but that's, you know, my whys are different than yours, but I was ballsy enough to take action, even when it felt uncomfortable. And then I realized when I did it enough times that was the hack. It was doing uncomfortable things, because if it was comfortable, it was producing me the same results that I was stuck at that particular point. So of course, when a baby starts to learn how to walk, they don't just give up after 2 or 3 falls. It's a learned behavior, and it's a feedback loop. I fell down on my bum this time. Oh, I'm not going to do it again. Oh, I did it again. I jumped off the sofa. I broke my arm. Oh, let me make sure I don't do that. I touched the pan. It's really hot. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I said something to the patient. They said something back. It didn't work out. Constantly learn how to create feedback loops, because the definition of intelligence is you are learning new things. You give a new information that actually changes your behavior, and therefore the behavior will change the action. Therefore, the action will change the results. Okay, I do a lot of strategy course where the owners have practiced for a year, sometimes for 30 years, and they just have the same patterns, the same routines, producing the same results, and they wonder why it's not working. The third solution is installing black hole interceptors. These are intentional touch points that you can create in your practice, such as a certain script, or such as a certain tool that you use, or giving someone an ice pack for a certain stage, or saying, oh, next time when you come in, we're going to have, excuse me, we're going to have a certain exercise I want you to do. But there are certain things that can anchor people, and we call these interceptors, to prevent the point of dropping into that black hole. Because like I said earlier, there's not much you can do once people want to stop care. There are certain strategies we still use, maybe for another time, another video. Solution number 4, making progress visible. So this is where you want to identify from day one, the pain is only one of the metrics that you've been measuring. In fact, it's a terrible metric because one day they wake up, the pain is there, the next day they sneeze, the pain is even worse, then the pain is gone. And it's a very, 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 very subjective measure. So you want to start thinking about behavioral shifts. You want to start looking at nervous system changes, whatever you guys do, HRV, inside scanners, x-rays, grip strength test, anything that has got objectivity to it, and you have a visual representation of how they're doing, it's great and it helps. And if you want help with that, let me know, because obviously we have a lot of practitioners that have to use a similar way of working to create consistent results for our patients. I've got 2 more left, and then we'll talk about how you guys can actually implement that. But there's something called the cliff edge, removing the cliff edge. And in many clinics, unintentionally create a cliff. And what I mean by that is, and this morning I had a call with someone and they're like trying to get the clinic to the next level. And I said, oh, so how do you explain what happens beyond the first phase? And they said, we don't really, we kind of just ask patients what they want. Like, you're the expert. Lead them through the whole process and say to them, after the intensive care finishes, we'll reassess you, we'll make sure that it's absolutely okay for you and me to move forward. If we're both happy, I'll devise the next stage of your plan, which is all about preventative care and keeping you well. For you, that might look like whatever, once a month, once every 3 months, coming in for checkups, and so on and so forth. There's no like end point. And if your belief system is you don't believe in maintenance, you don't believe in people being kept well, and you just want to fix their pain and problems within 4 to 6 visits, that's okay. That's okay. But I'm not talking maybe to you, I'm talking to the other listeners and people who watch this that are truly thinking, if I'm in a profession and I want to become an expert in that, I better tap into the full potential of what chiropractic and other therapists can do in order to achieve optimal health for that patient. And finally, guys, this is one of the biggest ones, I believe, is the language audit. Audit yourself and pay attention, or your team members, pay attention to how much difference it makes in the language you use with your patients. Most black holes are linguistic. What I mean by that is there's certain phrases, and I've only used 3 here, danger phrases, that you use without even knowing. We'll see how it goes. Let's just try this. If you feel better, da-da-da. I want you to start thinking with much more concrete and confident language, so patients actually trust you, they value your opinion, and they may not like you as much as you want them to, but they would respect your opinion. Replace that with, what we expect next is, I'm confident that the next phase usually feels like this. Here is what tells us, there's a spelling mistake, but what I meant to say with that is, here is what's telling us that this is working. Therefore, you are putting your expertise. You know how you really value some people's opinion when they try to predict the future, and why do you think you do that? Because it's human behavior, it's human psychology. People want to be led. So don't use things like, oh, let's just see how we get on, or maybe just a little bit more of this. No, that's weak language. It develops an uncertainty in the patient's mind, and then the decision when they say I need to think about it, or I'm going to stop for now just to see how I get on, it's just an excuse from the logic they used based on the emotional state that they got put in, and the emotion was, I just for some reason not sure why I need to carry on seeing Stefan or whoever they were seeing. I hope this video was helpful. Again, if you wanted more help and go even further and even deeper into hitting that top 1% of chiropractic clinics in the UK, if not in the world, we are always interviewing whether clinics want to join us. So there will be somewhere a link below to schedule a call with me. But this is just scratching the surface of how much work we do within the Practice Speak community and the Practice Speak Mastermind. Hope this was helpful. Hope you actually take action, and I'm sure that will absolutely improve your trajectory and where your practice is going. Thank you for watching. Until the next video.